happy to have this gallery, to be here, and to host these wonderful people from Cuba. And without further ado, I want to introduce Marisha Kazniak, and she's the Executive Director of Vermont-Carribean Institute. And she organized this exchange between BCI and Ludwig Foundation of Cuba. So, Marisha, you.
Thank you all so much for being here. It's really an honor to have you here. And I want to begin also by thanking the people of Windsor, the community of Windsor. It's taken a tremendous amount of effort on your part to organize this. My friend Maggie Neely, Nancy with the gallery, Judy Haywood from Historic Windsor, and the families who are hosting these kids. The work of Vermont-Carribean Institute is really built on developing people-to-people relationship as a form of international diplomacy. And without the generosity and the warmth and the love of folks like you, we would never be able to do our work. So I would like to give all of you a round of applause, please. Thank you so much. Really grateful. Vermont-Carribean Institute started in 2004. The focus of our work is on building community and supporting sustainable well-being through the arts, educational programming, and cultural exchange. Our work is focused in Cuba, the Dominican Republic, and this winter we're going to start working in Nicaragua as well. We do grassroots development work with a focus on capacity building. Our funds are from private donations, fundraising that we do ourselves, and grant writing. In the Dominican Republic, we've worked with the U.S. Embassy funding for 3 years doing a project in sustainable education. We partnered with Shelburne Farms, sustainable education program, to do a project that served over 2,000 kids in Puerto Plata on the north coast of the Dominican Republic to teach them about sustainable practice and a sense of stewardship of place in their own community. The U.S. Embassy has renewed our grant twice for that, which is really an honor. We've also worked in the Dominican Republic with funding from USAID, a small grant from them. We were able to develop an artist cooperative in Puerto Plata to support their skill development so that when tourists go to buy artifacts or souvenirs from their vacation in the Dominican Republic, it will not say made in China, it will say made in Puerto Plata. So we're really fortunate for those programs. We also do an annual Vermont-Dominican Republic baseball cultural exchange that brings little kids, 11, 12-year-old kids from Puerto Plata to Burlington for 10 days of great baseball and cultural learning and a lot of fun. And we send kids from Burlington down to Puerto Plata to reciprocate the exchange. We had 14 kids from the DR in Burlington in June, and are sending a group of kids down from Burlington in April during April vacation. Our work, however, started in Cuba. After visiting there a number of years ago, it became very important to me to develop linkages between Vermont communities and the people of Cuba. And that was started with that commitment to developing those linkages. I started the Vermont-Cuba project, which is really the beginning of BCI. That was during the Clinton administration when educational exchange was possible, and BCI took travelers from UVM to Cuba, from UVM Medical School, from the Preservation Trust of Vermont, from the Flynn Center for the Performing Arts. So we started our work in Cuba initially. Of course, that all changed with the Bush administration, and it became very difficult for U.S. groups of any nature to travel to Cuba. It was during that time that we started our work in the Dominican Republic. We're really delighted to say at this point with the Obama administration that things are changing between the U.S. and Cuba, and the opportunity for normalizing relations is increasing. Cultural exchange, And it's always been really important to me that Vermont take a leading role in developing those exchanges. I've always felt a strong affinity between the values of Vermont and the work in our communities and the values and integrity that I have found in the people of Cuba. We're very fortunate. Last year, we developed a partnership with the Ludwig Foundation of Cuba, which is based in Havana. It's a non-governmental organization, and these folks will explain more of it to you. But it really is a non-parallel organization in Cuba in that none of its funding comes from the Cuban government. It's an independent organization. Its mission is to promote and protect the art and the artists of Cuba, and to, through the artists, protect and create the cultural heritage of the island as well. So we have partnered with the Ludwig Foundation to develop exchange between Vermont and Cuba that's based in the arts. And the first leg of this exchange is the folks that you have here with us, we have here tonight. When Elmo Hernandez, the president of Ludwig, was in Vermont last year, he visited a number of communities, and he found right away the essence of Vermont in terms of the commitment Vermont has to the arts and to participatory community development in the evolution of our culture here. He was very impressed by that, and he shared with me that he would like Vermont to play a leading role in developing the future leaders of Cuba. So that's an honor for VCI to be part of that exchange. I'd like to welcome all of you to join us in this effort. There's a lot of exciting work ahead as it becomes more possible to work in Cuba. And again, we are really fortunate to have some of those future leaders of Cuba with us here tonight. It's taken a lot of work for them to get here. For all of them, it's the first time they've been out of Cuba, off the island, so there have been an endless number of firsts for these kids. From their first plane ride to their first McDonald's to a first of many, many things. They'll share some of those with you. But they're going to talk tonight about their work at Ludwig Foundation. They are all arts professionals. Adriana Gonzalez is a music instructor and a dance teacher, and also very involved with the Digital Clone Project at Ludwig Foundation, which they are going to focus on tonight. Eduardo Bacha is also an arts instructor focusing in fine arts, and he will be sharing his work with you at the institution as well. And Uniel Fonseca is a computer engineer. His training is in computer engineering, and has also been instrumental in this digital clone that is the premier task right now, and the premier project of the Ludwig Foundation to make the arts accessible throughout Cuba and beyond Cuba. So I will let them take over. Again, I just want to thank you for being here and thank the three of you for all you're sharing with us here in Vermont. It's really an honor. Thank you.
Yeah, there are some seats here.
Yes, so go ahead and Peter. Hello. Where they started. Some chairs. You can sit on the floor too. No one.
Well,
Nobody knows that. It's like school.
I have to say that we wouldn't begin this presentation without saying thank you to all of the people in Windsor that have been so warm and that have been so close to us. Everything has been a big surprise for us. It was really amazing, our presence here in Windsor. So thanks a lot for that. So as Marisha said, it's really hard for us making this presentation because it's the first time we are abroad of Cuba, first time in the United States, and also first time speaking in English, in an English spoken country. So we beg you to understand that, and also to keep a conversation, an open conversation with us. So feel free to interrupt at any time and ask everything you want to know. Okay, so as you said, we work in the Ludwig Foundation of Cuba. But what we would really like people to know about Cuba and the foundation there is that a foundation is something really special there. It's not the same than here, because in our country we only have 6 foundations all over it, and from those 6 foundations, only 2 work directly with arts and culture, and one of those 2 are ours, the Ludwig Foundation of Cuba. It began in 1995. It was created by an art collector from Germany. His name was Ludwig, Peter von Ludwig, and he was interested mainly in the art that had place in the socialist and communist countries all over the world. So he created many institutions, museums, foundations, and from all of those institutions, the only one remaining also in the world is ours in Havana. All of the other has closed now. So it's been trying to develop and give a support to mainly the young Cuban artists, and for that we have a number of activities developed at the foundation, which we would like to share with you tonight. So this is the building of the foundation. It's like a penthouse. Do you use this word here? It's in the top of a building, so it has an incredible view of the city. It's a very good place for having exhibition, receptions, you know. You can see the, yeah, it's wonderful. Very sunny. There's no snow there. And you can also see the sea from the terrace.
Oh, nice.
It's fantastic.
Wow.
This is a new building?
It's a 50 years building. But it was built in the 50s, might be 60 years now. So, first thing I would like to, that's okay, you can put the first one? Okay. We would like to talk about the digital clone, which I'm going to speak very shallow, because Fonseca is going to go deeper on it. So, digital clone is one of the most important projects we have because of the circumstance of the internet in Cuba and all that. So it's a strategy that we have found for putting in a digital format all the information we have. It has a very strange name, looks like something robotic, but it's nothing like that, okay? So the inventories is another of the big activities we have there. We have them in Cuba. This is, as its name says, inventory. It's like an inventory of all the Cuban young artists. What we do is only one-day exhibition every Wednesday. So we think at the foundation that an exhibition that lasts 1 month is something really useless, because in Cuba only people goes to the galleries only the first day, to the vernissage. They have some drink, they spend time chilling with friends, and then they say goodbye and never come back. So they don't have an approach, a deep approach with the exhibition. So we decided to have this kind of exhibition of only 1 day long of every Cuban artist we meet. It could be a professional, it could be a beginner. There are no restrictions for this. We show everything, never matters what they are willing to show. And in exchange, the artists that show their work at the foundation, they have to give, to meet with people, just the same way we are doing right now here. And the artist is asked questions, repeat the audience, allowed to ask and interchange with him, and asking doubts about his work, anything that could be interesting for them. So this is one of the most important things we do, as I told you, because it's like an inventory of all the Cuban artists that right now, out of the foundation, could be widespread all over the city, and this is a meeting point for all of them.